It feels like really silly stuff to be worried about or like think so hard about. This is, you know.
This is the animal.
This is the animal. My name is Matt. Follow along as I turn Duracell, the legendary ocean racing sailboat, into a comfortable cruising home. We're back to boat work after some time off for the holiday. I am looking forward to building this furniture, like the workbench and the furniture up in the stateroom, but we're waiting for our big pallet of foam to arrive. And so in the meantime, until that stuff arrives and I can start building parts, I'm gonna mock up the head. And so that's where I'm standing. We have a lot of room for a nice big head here, including an enclosed shower. The boat's only gonna have one head, but we're gonna make it a nice one. The head will be just aft of the forward stateroom. There will be a composting toilet next to the mast, an enclosed shower to starboard, and the sink is amidships. I began by cutting out more of the floorboards. Most of them are balsa cord and rotten and need to be removed anyway. I'm going to be lowering the floor to be flush with the floorings to give myself more overhead room. I drew out where the walls of the shower would meet up to the existing structure using a laser level and plumb bob. And of course I used the door skin strip templating method to find all the odd shapes that will make up the bathroom. This is an episode full of templates. Once the template is put together using hot glue, I take it to the shop and use it to cut out the shape. I'm using 1/2 inch OSB or MDF, whichever is cheaper at the time. My leveling tools are essential during this process. Being able to transfer points across the boat using a level or from the overhead to the bilge using a plumb bob is important to keeping things square and accurate, and the laser level is a huge time saver. Here I'm trying to draw the outboard wall of the shower along the forward bulkhead, and then bring that plane aft along the overhead and along the bilge. Once the lines are drawn, I hot glue blocks to the line, which are used to hold the door skin templates in place. After the outboard wall was installed, I mocked up the shower bench. The bench allows the shower to be larger because it goes over the slope of the hull, which would normally be unusable space. I have mocked up the shower, like the basic shape of the shower. It is basically 2 feet wide by 3 feet deep here. I haven't put the floor in yet, and how I have it drawn is to then close off the shower right here with a wall, have a door right here.
I like it, and I don't think it's too small. I think we would probably end up sitting a lot and showering sitting down. Hi, Ted. We are dog sitting Ted this week.
For now, I am just mocking up the shape and plane of the shower floor. It will be a bit more complicated than this since there will be a shower pan, a grate, and drain to another part of the bilge where the shower sump will be.
It's a cozy shower.
It's a cozy shower. I have my boots on, and so it's not quite tall enough. Once I take my boots off, then it's like just tall enough for me to stand in. This is one of the drawbacks of using a race boat as a cruiser. They can have short overhead space and shallow bilges. From here I mocked up the aft wall of the shower. I had to build it in two pieces because the shape would not fit into the boat as one larger piece. The same will be true of the aft wall of the head. After I installed the smaller outboard piece, I was having second thoughts about the necessity of the inboard piece.
Are you questioning different ways to build the door to the shower?
Well, if I take this thing out of here, if I just have this piece in there, it seems like it's actually pretty close to being enclosed enough. So I was like, oh, why do I even need to put that piece in there? But it's nice to know that there's not a bunch of water that's going to be coming out of the shower, getting all over the floor and everything. And I really like I've seen on older boats where the shower is more enclosed, like what I was planning to do, just doing like a hole about 20 inches wide, maybe 4 feet tall. It'll be a little bit more difficult to climb into, but like I said, not as much water will come in. It'll be cozy. Cozy shower. I don't know why it's a... Anyway, or, right here like this, it looks pretty close, and I could just like close off the bottom a little bit so that water doesn't drain out, fall out. Of course, we'll have a curtain that comes across. This is like, it feels like really silly stuff to be worried about or like think so hard about. This is...
This is the animal.
This is the animal. And this is like, I don't know. I want to make it perfect. In the end, I decided to go with my original plan to have a smaller opening to the shower. I think it will be cozier and cleaner. What do you think?
I love it.
You do?
Yeah, it's super cool.
I think it's awesome. There'll be a window, a big hatch overhead.
Uh-huh. Oh, there will.
Oh, yeah. So the sink is going to be like right here.
Come on, Ted. You can do it. There you go. There you go, Ted. Come on. Ted, you don't like being on Duracell, do you? What you doing, honey?
Well, I just took out more of the floorboards. The floorboards are all glued down to the boat, and a lot of them are made of balsa, and so I have to cut them out. There's also going to be the wall for the aft wall of the bathroom is going to come right through here, and so I don't want it to like float on top of the floorboards, and so I need to get it so that it goes down into the bilge here, like so I can glue it down to the bilge. So I'm opening it all up and getting it all cleaned up before I template this aft wall. So it's a bit of a mess. Ooh, there's a big spider on my hand. So I'm continuing to build pieces for the bathroom mocked up. This is the aft wall, and I'm doing it in two parts. because if I built it in one big piece, I wouldn't be able to fit it into the boat. Just have this wall to mock up, and then we'll really get a feel for what the size of this bathroom. I don't always get these pieces. My templating isn't always perfect. It's usually not perfect, and so I got to do just a little bit of trimming down at the bottom here to get this last piece to go in. What do you think?
Wow. I love it.
Is it big enough?
It's big enough. I don't think it's too small. I think it's like, it doesn't feel cramped. No, I love it. I think it's perfect. It's the perfect size. And there's like a nice little area here when you get in and out of the shower. And then it's really comfortable step into the shower. And the sink is right here. I love it. It's a great layout. Okay, you try it.
You're not just saying that?
No, I'm not just saying that. I really like it.
Yeah, it's nice. It's not as big as I thought it was going to be. You know, having a big bathroom is luxurious, but when you're at sea, you want to be able to hold on to things. I intentionally put the head next to the mast to try and get the head as close to center line as possible, so when the boat's heeling and you're sitting on the toilet, it's not super awkward. And the shower is not on center line, but it's as close as I could make it. And I also made the shower pretty small so that when you're at sea, you're not being thrown around inside the shower. Not like we'd be using it a bunch when we're at sea, but when, it is nice to take a shower every few days and kind of feel like a real person again if you've been at sea for a while. So I think it will work really, really well for us.
You built a lot of forts when you were a kid.
No more than the average 10-year-old.
You sure about that?
Mm-hmm.
Before we sign off this week, a quick note on the murals. In the last episode, we asked you all to weigh in on the decision about whether to keep or not to keep the murals. We haven't decided yet, but one idea that we like that came from the comments is to take photos of them and reproduce them on, say, throw cushions for the settee area on Duracell. We unleashed some strong opinions on the matter, which made us smile. When we first had the idea to restore Duracell, we never could have guessed that so many people would care. Thanks for being a part of this journey.
Yanni plays an extremely important role in this project. The boat is as much hers as it is mine. The whole project is as much hers as it is mine. She puts in a ton of work to get these videos out to you every single week. We go and read all the comments every week. It's really fun for us to engage with the viewers, the people that are interested in our project. And so it was pretty disappointing last week to see a few comments that were disregarding her opinion about what she wanted to do with the stateroom, the murals in the stateroom. I hope you understand that this project is hers as much as it is mine. So we've been out of town for a few weeks and haven't had the opportunity to thank our new patrons. I'm going to thank some of them this week, some of them next week. So if you don't hear your name, don't worry, you'll be thanked next week. We love to thank our patrons in person, more or less. First, thank you to Scott and Sarah. Scott grew up in Massachusetts, all around the water. His grandfather was a fisherman. And now him and his wife, Sarah, live in Texas, and they own this really cool shop building enclosures for zoos and nature centers for exotic animals. They also board exotic animals. Also, thank you to Jan. Jan lives right down the street from us. He has been sailing his whole life. Him and his brother built a 44-foot, I think it's a steel sailboat, a Roberts designed sailboat. And he's logged like 120,000 sea miles from sailboats to cruise ships. And now he has a shop where they build permateak decks for boats. And so we're going to talk to him about maybe getting a permateak cockpit. Also, thank you to Andrew, who lives in the UK but has done a bunch of sailing in Massachusetts. He said last summer he actually got to sail out to Cape Cod and back. So thank you very, very much to Andrew. Thank you to Rick. He grew up sailing on lakes in Minnesota, similar to Mike Plant, and now has done a bunch of sailing both on the East Coast and the West Coast. So thank you very much to Rick. Also, thank you to Eric. Eric has all kinds of, sounds like, interesting boating experiences, including he bought a 35-foot sloop, wooden sloop, was 45 years old. He fixed it up and sailed it around Chesapeake Bay. But he also, when he used to live in Afghanistan, and him and his buddy found a kit to build a mirror dinghy, and they built it on their kitchen floor and painted it red and called it Ruby Yacht. And he claims to, at one time, built, owned, and operated the entire sailing fleet of Afghanistan. So congratulations, Eric, and thank you very, very much for your support. And lastly, thank you to Pamela, Danny, and Steve. And as a reminder to Patrons, we are hosting a little shop talk with me. Bring your questions about the Duracell project or your own boat projects. We'll try to answer them for you. So we're really looking forward to that. And there'll be 2 sessions, so people around the world can everybody can join.